No one knows what it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind the blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, to telling only lies. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours only lonely. My love is vengeance that's never free. No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings like I do, and I blame you. No one bites back as hard on their anger. None of my pain and woe can show through. But my dreams, they aren't as empty as my conscience seems to be. I have hours only lonely. My love is vengeance that's never free. When my fist clenches, crack it open before I use it and lose my cool. When I smile, tell me some bad news before I laugh and act like a fool. And if I swallow anything evil, put your finger down my throat. And if I shiver, please give me a blanket. Keep me warm, let me wear your coat. What it's like to be the bad man, to be the sad man behind blue eyes.
There's a calm before the storm. I know It's Neil Young playing us in for another episode of your favourite and mine, the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz. Welcome all. Welcome back to our reigning champions from last fortnight, I should always say. Sounds a bit hippie to me. Maybe we'll set you up with a prize question in a minute, or at the very least today. Welcome to anyone who's new to the quiz. I'll explain it in a moment, and welcome back to all our regulars. A special thank you to a couple of people who I know have made donations to our charity appeal in the last few weeks, so that is very much appreciated as ever. For those of you who are new, should such a person be listening, the Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz is a quiz in 4 parts. Before we get going, let me draw your eye to our Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz links. First off, if you would like to get ahead of the curve on our pictures, I'll be putting them on screen as we go along, but you can also download the sheet and have a look in advance, bit.ly/quizcazoatl_pictures. If you would like to compete, why not go and get an answer form going, bit.ly/quizcazoatl_answers. In the likely event that you can't spell Quizcazoatl, true not only of the new players, why don't you go to the Facebook page or the YouTube About section, wherever it is. There's clickable links somewhere if you have a wee bit of a look. When we get going, we'll have round 1, a combination of questions that I will be reading, with some from the picture sheet, then a music round. Round 2 is more questions, more pictures, and a couple more audio questions, and we will close out something like 10 past 10 UK time with the Quizcazoatl Wipeout round. Exciting, isn't it? We'll be done in about 2.5 hours from now, but don't you worry, the time passes fast. That is probably enough quadmin, except to mention, of course, that you shouldn't just look up the answers on the internet. That would be poor form, and you can't just ask Chatbot. Maybe you could. We should get Chatbot on one week, see how he does. In the meantime, let me get you set with question number 1. Can you tell me who is the only member of the Beatles never to have made a special guest voice appearance on The Simpsons? The only member of the Beatles not to have done a guest voice appearance on The Simpsons. And onwards to question number 2. In what famous British university contest do the winners, and I cannot emphasise strongly enough how beneficial it will be if you can see this question, in which famous British university contest do the winners usually dip their cocks in the river? In which famous university contest do the winners usually dip their cocks in the river? And question number 3 is our first picture this week. It is some L characters. We've got some fictitious characters. I don't want any actors' names here, voice or otherwise. You give the full commonly used names of these 6 characters. 6 points available on this one. And question number 4. The resort town of San Moritz is in which mountain range? The resort town of San Moritz. And question number 5. What force was holding back Harry Styles and pulling down Sam Ryder in the lyrics of 2 of the biggest hits of 2022? Are they still making new music? Who knew? What force held back Harry Styles and pulled down Sam Ryder in 2022? And we go on to question number 6, which is a picture. You've got some Venn diagrams to solve, a little bit of a puzzle for you. What could you replace these question marks with to complete our sets? And question 5. Not question 5, question 7, I should say. In football, which 5 teams have played in the English Premier League and have names beginning with a C? 5 C teams that have played in the English Premier League. Question number 8. What name is given to the disc that is used in the tabletop game of air hockey? What name is given to the disc used in air hockey? Question number 9. It's another picture. It's a snack attack. Can you name these 6 snacks for 6 points? Question number 10. In what film and musical does the main character's mother mistakenly think his name is Calvin Klein? In which film and musical does the main character's mother mistakenly think his name is Calvin Klein? Question 11. Which 1847 novel follows 2 families, the Earnshaws and the Lintons, living on the West Yorkshire moors? 1847 novel following 2 families on the West Yorkshire moors. And question number 12 is picture number 4. We've got some astronomical films. Can you name these films? We're after films this week. Franchise is not exact enough. Each of the titles includes a celestial body. Alrighty, we're going to take a break from the main event to do a prize question for our reigning champs. Sounds a bit hippie to me. And I have for you a 2001 question. In the movie 2001 A Space Odyssey, what did Stanley Kubrick, when he made the movie 2001 A Space Odyssey, what did Stanley Kubrick famously try and fail to get insurance against? What did Stanley Kubrick fail to get insured against when he made 2001 A Space Odyssey? And, as ever, you have 30 seconds to get your answer in. I'm afraid Stanley Kubrick did not. Well, in a manner of speaking, he did. He didn't manage to get or try to get insured against the monolith coming to get him. He tried to get insurance against aliens being discovered before the movie came out, but the insurance company wouldn't offer it. Their loss in the end. Anyway, good effort, good effort. This week's champions, bear in mind, there are still limited edition, never available in the shops, Quizcazoatl Publess Pub Quiz t-shirts to be won if you do your best. For everyone else, we go on to question 30. Ooh, not that. Who said in 1969 that for years politicians have promised the moon? I am the first to deliver it. Who said for years politicians have promised the moon? I am the first to deliver it. And question number 14. It's predictive text. Can you solve these two puzzles? We're looking for things that might lower the tone. And question number 15. What items of clothing is fashion designer Catherine Hamnett famous for? Choose Life was her first design. And question number 16. In the women's footballs, what surname links two players that have both represented England over 100 times? What surname links two players who have represented England over 100 times in the women's footballs? And question number 17. It's picture 6. We got 4 logos for you. Can you identify them all? Question number 18. Bordering Egypt, which 25-mile-long coastal piece of land is the smaller of the 2 Palestinian territories? Question number 19, our final picture of round 1. It's born the same year. Can you identify these 4 likely looking characters? And for a 5th point, tell me in which year were they all born? And a final question for round one. It's question number 20. What flower gets its name from the Persian for turban, due to similarities in appearance? Which flower gets its name from the Persian for turban? And being the end of round one, I'm going to give you a moment to finish getting your answers together and take a break if you need it. We will come back in 6 minutes and go to the music round. All right, everybody, welcome back. Thank you for getting your answers in. If you haven't got your answers in, onwards and upwards, time to submit. Either way, we are going to be going along to the music round. You all know the score, I suspect. In the music round, I'm going to play you 6 songs spanning the decades from the 1960s up to the 2010s. All you have to do is name the 6 songs and tell me the performing artists responsible for them. 1 song per artist, 1 song per title, 1 song, 1 point per artist, 1 point per song, for a total of 12 points available. I'll play them once, give you a moment, and then play them for you again. Here we go.
When you're a stranger, faces look ugly. When you're alone, women seem wicked. When you're unwanted, streets are uneven. When you're down, when you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange.
Don't wanna miss you tonight, and I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
I think I did it again. I made you believe we're more than just friends. Oh baby, it might seem like a crush, but it doesn't mean that I'm serious. 'Cause to lose all my senses, that is just so typically me. Oh baby.
I know you never get just what you see, but I will never fall you, baby.
And when we had that fight out in the rain, you ran after fight and called my name.
I never wanna see you walk away, 'cause one of these things is not like the others. Living in winter, I am your summer. Maybe dull when it comes to a lover. I promise that you'll never find another like.
Uneven when you're down, when you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange.
Sooner or later
I did it again. I made you believe we're more than just friends. Oh baby, it might seem like a crush, but it doesn't mean that I'm serious. 'Cause to lose all my senses, that is just so typically me. Oh baby.
I know you never get just what you see, but I will never fall you, baby.
And when we had that fight out in the rain, you ran after fight and called my name.
I never wanna see you walk away, 'cause one of these things is not like the others. Living in winter, I am your summer. Maybe dull when it comes to a lover. I promise that you'll never find another like.
Okie dokie, he said, clearing his throat after turning the mic on. You can ponder those for a little bit longer, but if you're a designated marker, A, thank you for marking, and B, eyes down, look in, we're going to go through round number 1. So, what did we have? Round 1, question 1. We asked which Beatle never featured in The Simpsons as a guest voice artist. We were looking for John Lennon. We would have accepted Pete Best, which is more than the Beatles ever did. Number 2, looking for the boat race. Oxford-Cambridge boat race is fine. The university boat race is fine. The characters in picture 1, it's Lilo, can't remember now, Lilo and Stitch, is it? I see we have spellings, 2 spellings to that effect. We have a Lola. I don't think Lola is close enough, I'm afraid. Although I did meet one in a club down in Old Soho one time. We then had Legolas of Lord of the Rings fame. Luna Lovegood. Lara Croft, the pneumatic star of Tomb Raider. Then, careful how you pronounce it, is Lord Farquaad. Lord Farquaad from Shrek. And finally, of the turtles, it was Leonardo. Question 4. San Moritz is in the Alps. Apparently the Albula Alps, if you wanted to be specific, but we won't require it. The Force, that is... Where am I? I've lost my place now. Oh yes, there we go. The Force holding back Harry Styles and pulling down Sam Ryder was gravity. So there you go. Then question 6, the answers were dread. That's fear meets hair braiding. Then we had Nigel Lawson, gender reversed chefs' names meets Chancellors of the Exchequer. And then finally weight, that is compass points with measurements. And compass points plus numbers meets measurements. Question 7, our 5 English teams were... 5 teams in the English Premier League, I should say, because the first is, of course, Cardiff, then Charlton Athletic, then Chelsea, then Coventry, and finally Crystal Palace. Question 8, the disc in air hockey is a puck. Very Shakespearean of it. And then we had some crisps. And they were Wheat Crunchies. Then Space Raiders. See, we have a range of answers here. Aliens, I'm afraid I will not allow. Space Invaders, I think that's something different. So I think I'm just going to give the point for Space Raiders. If anyone can provide evidence that they've been called Space Invaders at some point in the past, we'll reconsider. So a point for Space Raiders only. We then had Mini Cheddars. We'll accept Cheddars, but it's not strictly correct. Then the Pom Bear. Then the trumpet thing is Bugle. And then Doritos. I'm not sure if you put some generic nacho, that would be okay too. Doritos, though, was the brand. Oh, it does say brand, doesn't it? There we are. Doritos it is. Question 10. The film in which the main character's mother believes him to be called Calvin Klein is Back to the Future. Question 11. The dreary, dreary novel on the West Yorkshire moors is Wuthering Heights. Question 12. Our movies were Star Trek, and that was just Star Trek, not Into Darkness. So I did say we needed films, not franchises, so half a point for Star Trek Into Darkness. Then we had Moonrise Kingdom. Moonrise Kingdom. Then A Star is Born. Then we have, I think, a young Christian Bale. Empire of the Sun. Then we had Star Wars, The Force Awakens. So Last Jedi, I guess, can be half a point. If Into Darkness is half a point, Star Wars, The Last Jedi, half a point. Not entirely implausible. And finally, Planet of the Apes. Star Trek, Moonrise Kingdom, A Star is Born, Empire of the Sun, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and Planet of the Apes. Question 13. Who delivered the moon? It was, of course, Richard Nixon. What a guy, Richard Nixon. Then, question 14. Our predictive texts were Pitch Shifter and Rude Joke. Pitch Shifter and Rude Joke. Then Catherine Hamnett makes T-shirts, not hats, I'm afraid, T-shirts. In the women's football, we were looking for two Scots. No, hang on, two English people, but called Alex and Jill Scott. Question 17. Our logos were Airbnb, Ibis, Marriott, and Accor. Accor? Airbnb, Ibis, Marriott, and Accor. Question 18. The smaller bit of the Palestinian territories is the Gaza Strip. And then our people and year, we had Xi Jinping, then Diane Abbott, then wrestling star Hulk Hogan, and then Alfred Molina. Someone's put Alfred Maloney, which I just don't think is quite close enough. But if you can convince me that that was a mishearing, Maloney and Molina, not quite the same. Maybe, but no. Alfred Maloney, no points for you. And the year we were looking for was 1953. So anything from 2 to 4 is worth a point. I think 2 of you got in the range. Well played. Finally, question 20. The flower that gets its name from the Persian word for turban is a tulip. Tulip for a point. I'll come back in a minute with a scores update. In the meantime, let's give you an anagram. Can you rearrange for me the letters in Crush for Madras to reveal the name of a famous sports person? That is C-U... Hang on. That didn't start well. That is CRUSHFORMADRAS. Looking for a sports person. And keep thinking on the anagram if you need to, but we're going to question 2. First developed in Sweden in the 1990s, what is the UK's best-selling type of plant-based milk? A Swedish innovation. What is the UK's best-selling plant-based milk? Question number 3. We've got some cat phrases. Can you work out these 4 cat-related phrases just from the initials? I can also give you a scores update. After 1 round, it's pretty tight as it happens. In 4th place, on 38.5 points, it's him and her. Just behind the main pack in 3rd, the Footlins on 42. And in the lead, 42.5 points each, it is Sounds a Bit Hippie to Me, level with the BBQs. Question number 4. Which boy band's name is an abbreviation of the phrase Bulletproof Boy Scouts in their own language? Which boy band's name is an abbreviation of Bulletproof Boy Scouts? Question 5. Once the world's fourth largest lake, the site of the Aral Sea is now the world's youngest example of what geographical feature? Once the world's fourth largest lake, the site of the Aral Sea is now the world's youngest example of what geographical feature? Question number 6. It's picture number 9. And we got some celebrities at the Met Gala. I'm sure you are all fixated on this celebrity, whatever it is. Can you identify these 6 fine young things? And question number 7. Named after a 1990 science fiction movie, what is the title of Arnold Schwarzenegger's 2012 memoir? Question number 8 is an audio question. We'll listen into this and then we can do some music round marking as well. It's mystery voices. All you got to do is identify the 3 people from these 3 clips. Here we go.
Number 1.
There are some moments where you might nip to the loo. I watched the dress rehearsal last night in the stadium, and one act started, and I thought, if I was at a concert, this is when I'd go get a drink. And as I thought that, the stadium emptied as people were going.
Really?
To get it.
Oh my God.
Number 2.
Lady Marmalade made this look tame, and that would be the gateway to what was to come. You had nods to burlesque, old Hollywood glam. You had all these showgirl aspects, and as a performer, I got to just live my best life. Be good girl, but not too good, because that's boring. There's such a rule book that's handed to us, and I was given it since I was very, very little. And the older I got, the more I realized you're either going to be a part of the problem, or you're going to stand up against it and create your own story. And that's what Stripped was about.
Number 3.
Because you can't hear it, right? So if I do a joke, right? Let me do a joke, a very old joke, right? My granddad died on the occasion of his 92nd birthday, which was a great shame as we were only halfway through giving him the bumps. Right? Now, it's got a laugh, but the smile, I can't hear it. I can't hear it.
Number 1.
There are some moments where you might nip to the loo. I watched the dress rehearsal last night in the stadium, and one act started, and I thought, if I was at a concert, this is when I'd go get a drink. And as I thought that, the stadium emptied as people were going.
Really?
To get it.
Oh my God.
Number 2.
Lady Marmalade made this look tame, and that would be the gateway to what was to come. You had nods to burlesque, old Hollywood glam. You had all these showgirl aspects, and as a performer, I got to just live my best life. Be good girl, but not too good, because that's boring. There's such a rule book that's handed to us, and I was given it since I was very, very little. And the older I got, the more I realized you're either going to be a part of the problem, or you're going to stand up against it and create your own story. And that's what Stripped was about.
Number 3.
Because you can't hear it, right? So if I do a joke, right? Let me do a joke, a very old joke, right? My granddad died on the occasion of his 92nd birthday, which was a great shame as we were only halfway through giving him the bumps. Right? Now, it's got a laugh, but the smile, I can't hear it. I can't hear it.
Alright, eyes down, look in. We are also going to do some marking now. So, what did we have? We had the music. Where are my answers? In the 1960s, we had The Doors. And that was People Are Strange. People Are Strange by The Doors. In the 70s, it was Hot Chocolate with You Sexy Thing. Then in the 1980s, Madonna was Getting Into the Groove. Into the Groove is the title, but if you put a get, we'll allow it. And then in the 1990s, it was the Goo Goo Dolls with Iris. Then the noughties, we heard from Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again. Naughty Britney Spears. Finally, on we go into the 2010s. The song was Me, and that was a two-person effort. We had Taylor Swift featuring Brendan Urie. A bit of frantic searching has revealed that Brendan Urie is indeed from Panic at the Disco, so I will allow Panic at the Disco as an alternative to Brendan Urie. Give half a point each for Taylor Swift and Brendan Urie or Panic at the Disco. Nothing for Justin Bieber. Ever. Whoever put Panic at the Disco has also got their answer the wrong way round. So, what have we got there? Lover Like Me? Is that the... I think having allowed Panic at the Disco, I guess we can give half a point for Lover Like Me. I assume that's the chorus lyric. It's too generous, though, really, isn't it? What do we have? People Are Strange by The Doors. You Sexy Thing by Hot Chocolate. Into the Groove, Madonna. Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears. We'll accept Whoops. And then Taylor Swift with Brendan Urie. I will accept Taylor Swift with Panic at the Disco. If you only put Taylor Swift, half a point. The song is called Me! Exclamation point. So there you have it. On we go. Question number 9. In Greek mythology, what is the 4-letter name of the nymph who is condemned to only speak the last word spoken to her? 4-letter name of a nymph condemned only to speak the last word spoken to her. Question 10 takes us, as so often it does, to picture 10. And we got some Roald Dahl books. Can you identify the books from these 6 What I take to be Quentin Blake illustrations. Okie dokie. Question number 11. What word can refer to a linear sequence of bonded atoms, or, in property, to a group of linked buyers and sellers? A word for a linear sequence of bonded atoms, or a group of linked buyers and sellers. Question number 12. Same letter anatomy. We got some pairs of things that start with the same letter. Can you identify them for 6 points? And onwards we go. Question number 13. Which former president of FIFA, the longest to hold the title, is mentioned in a song that has topped the UK charts many times? Which former president of FIFA is mentioned in a song that has topped the UK charts many times? Question number 14 now. Oh, not that button. Question number 14 now, and it's back to your friend and mine. It is the extreme audio experience that is total musical chaos. You will hear some tiny 1-second snippets of songs. All you've got to do is identify the 6 artists. Don't need the song titles, I need 6 artists. These will be played 1 second at a time, one after the other, and it'll happen 3 times in fairly short succession. So, buckle up, focus, and enjoy it if you can.
One. Two. Three.
On we go. Question 15 is picture number 12. Some pictorial wines this time. Can you work out the grapes and regions that name some wines from these pictorial clues? Question number 16. Earth Piece is an artwork by which female Japanese artist? Earth Piece, an artwork by which female Japanese artist? Question number 17. It's picture 13. We've got some missing vowels. We're looking for elements and things the elements are used for. 5 points available on this one. You get 1 point for each pair. Question number 18. Which global writing system and alphabet was inspired by a 19th century French invention later called night writing? Which global writing system and alphabet was inspired by a 19th century French invention later called night writing? Question number 19. We have got some cities for you. These 7 cities all begin with a boy's name. The initial letters as indicated. And name all of them for 7 points. And we'll go to the final question of round number 1. Round number 2. Question 20. And the name of which Italian river can be spelt using the chemical symbols for the 3 most abundant elements in Earth's atmosphere? The name of which Italian river can be spelt using the chemical symbols for the 3 most abundant elements in Earth's atmosphere? And we're making excellent time today, so I'm going to give you a full 7 minutes to finalise your answers before we're going to go on to the wipeout. Okie dokie, welcome back everyone. Hopefully you are refreshed, have all your round 2 answers finalised and are ready to get wiping out. I think everyone knows the score by now, just in case anyone doesn't. In the wipeout round, I will ask you 6 questions. The last letter of each answer becomes the first letter of the next answer, creating a chain of answers, if you will. If you get all 6 of them right, get 2 bonus points, but if you get any of them wrong, then you don't get any points for the round. So be careful with the guessing. If that's clear, then let us go on to wipeout question number 1. Which isn't there. Where is it? Can you tell me what comes after British in the name of the period of history during which the UK exerted direct rule over India? What comes after British in the name of the period of British UK direct rule over India? Wipe out question number 2. What 9-letter word is often used to mean to unofficially unlock a locked iPhone so that it can be used with other networks? What 9-letter word is used to mean to unofficially unlock a locked iPhone? Time for wipeout question 3. Which word that sounds like a military rank refers to a small amount of something or to the seed of a cereal? Then wipe out question number 4. What substance, also known as tincture of opium, was prescribed to treat pain up until the early 20th century? A tincture of opium. Question 5. Characters played in film by Tim Minchin, Jamie Foxx, Mark Addy, Christian Slater, and by Morgan Freeman are all associated with which band of outlaws? Characters played by Tim Minchin, Jamie Foxx, Mark Addy, Christian Slater, and Morgan Freeman are associated with which band of outlaws? And a final question for tonight's quiz. Which country has finished last in the Eurovision Song Contest the most times? Which country has chalked up the most last places in the Eurovision Song Contest? One and a half, 2 points behind the Footlings on 53.5, and they are half a point behind the BBQs on 54. Alright, I'll give you another couple of minutes to finalise your wipeout answers, and then try to get your answers in promptly so that we can do the marking. Alright, everybody, it is time to get your eyes down, look in, and do some marking with me. Do come along if you would. We have, well, some things to say. We have an anagram. Round 2, question number 1. Our anagram was this week Marcus Rashford. Not Sam Crufforders, I'm afraid. Even if that is how Sounds a Bit Hippie spells Marcus Rashford. Not close enough. Question 2. The best-selling plant-based milk in the UK is oat milk. Oat milk. Question 3. We were looking for Curiosity Killed the Cat. Has the cat got your tongue? Let the cat out of the bag. And look what the cat dragged in. And then the Bulletproof Boy Scouts in Korean would be BTS. BTS. The Aral Sea is now the world's youngest desert. A desert for a point. And then our 6 people photographed at the Met Gala were Michaela Cole, then Cara Delevingne, and Billie Eilish, Olivia Wilde, Gigi Hadid, Gigi Hadid maybe, and Kristen Stewart. Michaela Cole, Cara Delevingne, Billie Eilish, Olivia Wilde, Gigi Hadid, and Kristen Stewart. Question 7. Arnold Schwarzenegger's memoir is called Total Recall. Then our 3 mystery voices were Graham Norton, Christina Aguilera, and David Baddiel. Graham Norton, Christina Aguilera, and David Baddiel. Question 9. The nymph who speaks only the last thing spoken to her was Echo. Echo. Then, question number 10. We had 6 Roald Dahl books. They were George's Marvellous Medicine, James and the Giant Peach, The Witches, Matilda, Danny the Champion of the World, and The Twits. Question 11. The linear sequence of bonded atoms was the chain, or a chain. Then our anatomical terms were membrane, mitochondria, tibia, talus, sinus, and septum. The former president of FIFA, longest to hold the title, is mentioned in 3 lines and is of course Jules Rimet. At least one person now knows what the lyric in that song actually is. Jules Rimet. Then question 14, total musical chaos. We were looking for Katrina and the Waves, then the Beatles, Salt and Pepper, the Killers, Beyonce, and Phil Collins. Those again, Katrina and the Waves, the Beatles, Salt and Pepper, the Killers, Beyonce, and Phil Collins. Our grapes and regions, our wines were Chianti, then Bordeaux, Lambrusco, Chardonnay, Muscat, and Cava. Chianti, Bordeaux, Lambrusco, Chardonnay, Muscat, and Cava. The Japanese artist for question 16 was Yoko Ono. And then our elements and things, remember 1 point for each pair, so 5 points in total for this question. We had aluminium foil, titanium joints, iron girders. I can tell that sounds a bit hippie. You've been playing Warhammer too much because they've put lead soldier and lead solder we were looking for. They'll still get the point. Lead solder. And then finally, those who were concentrating the other day, it's European banknotes. Bit of a callback. The global writing system inspired by night writing was Braille. Then our cities with boys' names were Carlisle, Bradford, Leeds, Doncaster, Peterborough, Milton Keynes, and Cambridge. And finally, The Italian river was the Arno. That is argon, nitrogen and oxygen. The Arno. Wipeout is all we have left to mark at that point. And it was the British rule in India was, of course, the Raj. Unlocking an iPhone is a jailbreak. Where do they do it? Somewhere in this town. The small amount of something or seed of cereal is a kernel. The tincture of opium was laudanum. Mention Fox, Addy, Slater and Freeman have all been merry men. And the most gloriously nil-poirific contestant in Eurovision over the years has been Norway. Norway for the final point there. And we'll just take a moment while I finish marking and for the scores to update. While I'm at it, well, as I mentioned earlier, we've had some very generous donations to the old charity appeal, which is ongoing, a little backgrounded now with our core audience. But if you would like to donate, by all means, don't let me stop you from doing so. We appreciate every little bit. So thank you to everyone who has and everyone who in the future will. And let's see, I think that should be everything. Let's check the marks have come in. So, well, those have all gone blank, that doesn't help. Alrighty. Well, I think I have final scores for you. It's been a good one, frankly. In having started well, having had a slightly more difficult second half, him and her in fourth place on 85.5. They trail on 107 points in the joint lead after one round, but falling behind. It sounds a bit hippie to me, not defending their title. That means it's between the BBQs and the Footlins for first place. Well, I can tell you on 111.5, the Footlins have come second. So the BBQs with a crushing 119 points. The only team to get full marks on the wipeout and the top scorers in round 2. Well done, BBQs. You have won this week. I kind of have the feel I won't be here for the next scheduled quiz. So the 6th of June is going to have to be a Quizcazoatl Light, a pre-recorded quiz event. Do feel free to dial in either at the normal time or later in the week as you see fit. And that means that all things being equal, the next time I will be speaking to you in person will be the 20th of June. So that's something to look forward to. I will hope for you to hear me then. In the meantime, beef out.